Ink Ribbon.
With Metal Gear Solid Delta announced, I thought it would be a good time to scroll back through the Metal Gear Solid timeline and take a closer look at the legendary soldier who is arguably the center of the Metal Gear universe. Now, just to be clear, especially for casual fans, Solid Snake and Big Boss are not the same person. If you're interested in learning more about Solid Snake, I did a whole 50 Facts video just for him. Also, this video was requested by my Gold Tier supporter, SS Jerry. Just as a reminder to any Gold Tier members, you can request a video topic, so if you're a Gold Tier and you've been dying for me to make a certain video, be sure to claim it. But for now, we are going to strap in for this virtuous video. From taking an arrow to the face to bromantic beach fun, here are 50 facts about Big Boss. Big Boss is a recurring main character in the Metal Gear Solid series, appearing in Metal Gear, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Snake Eater, Portable Ops, Metal Gear Solid 4, Peacewalker, and Phantom Pain. Big Boss goes by many different names, including Vic Boss, Saladin, Ishmael, Naked Snake, Jack, John, and many more.
Good work, Jack.
There was actually a controversy surrounding Big Boss's real name due to the fact that in Metal Gear Solid 3, his name is revealed to be Jack, but later Ocelot says his name is John. The Metal Gear Solid 4 database also lists his name as John. Big Boss is the original person that all snakes are cloned from. These include Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, Solidus, and if you played Acid 2 on the PSP, Snake. Just Snake. In Peace Walker, there's a briefing file where, when talking to Huey, Big Boss reveals that he believes in Santa Claus.
I don't know much about what goes on up in the sky. What I do know is that NORAD tracks Santa Claus on its radar.
Nice one. I didn't know you were a comedian, too.
Huh? No, I'm serious. It's true, NORAD tracks his...
If he gets food poisoning, you can cure him by spinning him around in the cure menu. When you go back to the game, he will vomit and be free of food poisoning. The other actor that Big Boss is heavily based on is Kurt Russell's character from Escape from New York, Snake Plissken. In the non-canon NES game Snake's Revenge, Big Boss is depicted as a cyborg. In the manual for the MSX version of Metal Gear, he was accidentally depicted with his eye patch on the wrong side. As he reveals to Paramedic in 3, Big Boss is scared of bats, and even more scared of vampires, to the point of having nightmares about it.
Oh,
Exactly.
right.
I'm not afraid of vampires.
Uh-huh.
It's just that whenever somebody starts talking about vampires, I end up dreaming about them that night, and I don't need that right now. That's all.
Okay.
Big Boss has no sense of smell. In typical Kojima fashion, the original idea was based on the fact that the player has no way to use their sense of smell during gameplay. There's a joke about this in Metal Gear Solid 5 where he doesn't realize he stinks after a mission.
Welcome back, boss. Another successful mission. Great to see you safe, boss. Snake, you stink.
Born in 1935, his military career officially began in the 1950s when he became the boss's disciple and fought in the Korean War. Becoming very close with the boss, they developed CQC together, or Close Quarters Combat, which was a unique style of military hand-to-hand combat designed to be used while holding a knife or a gun, while also being able to attack, stun, or disarm an enemy. Around 1995, he met a Green Beret named David, and knowing that he was one of his sons, decided to teach him CQC and other battle techniques. And in case you didn't already know, David later became known as Solid Snake. When he met Eli, who later became known as Liquid Snake, he felt no connection to him, which may have contributed negatively towards Liquid's view of him.
So that's why you're so obsessed with Big Boss. Some warped kind of love. Love? It's hate! He always told me.
Big Boss was exposed to radiation when he was near the detonation of the first hydrogen bomb at Bikini Atoll. Unlike his friends, who all developed cancer of some kind, the only side effect for Big Boss was that he became infertile. Another point of controversy among fans is Big Boss's height, due to the fact that Metal Gear 2 lists his height at 5'11", while Metal Gear Solid lists his height at 6'4". If you don't take out the tracker in the third game, you're treated to an amusing extra cutscene with Eva and Big Boss while they're under the waterfall.
There's something in here. It's so hard.
When did it get like that?
I can't believe how small it is.
Yeah, but it gets the job done.
Really?
Originally, Big Boss was going to have both his eyes cut out, but ended up only losing one eye after being shot by Ocelot in order to protect Eva. As expected from Kojima, every Metal Gear game has a bit of silliness to it. In the case of Peacewalker, you can go on dates with Paz, but you can also go on a date with Kaz, aka Master Miller. They spend time at the beach in their swimsuits, and if you're curious enough, you can extend this to reveal a lot of interesting details.
Sweet dreams.
You mean in your arms?
Snake. You want a picture of me? Make sure you get a good shot of my muscles.
In Peacewalker, it's revealed that he was 29 during the events of Snake Eater and would make him about 79 years old when he died. When you add up the timeline of events, he actually spent almost 1/3 of his life in a coma. In Metal Gear Solid 4, the hardest emblem to earn is the Big Boss emblem. Doing this will reward you with the Big Boss face camo, which, when equipped, will make all PMC soldiers completely freak out when they see you. For Metal Gear Solid 3, Kurt Russell was offered the role of Naked Snake, but he turned it down. David Hayter had to fight for the role of Big Boss and was eventually replaced in Metal Gear Solid 5 due to several factors, mainly that Kojima had been trying to replace him as Snake for years, and he finally did, replacing him with Kiefer Sutherland, much to the dismay of David Hayter and fans of the series. Super Smash Bros. Brawl features a trophy of Naked Snake that is unlocked randomly. Super Bomberman R featured both Solid Snake and Naked Snake as cameo characters, even having them voiced by David Hayter. Little Big Planet 3 featured a Ground Zeroes themed DLC pack featuring Big Boss. As a promotional crossover, Monster Hunter Portable 3rd allows characters to dress as the boss and as Big Boss, as well as a sneaking suit for your feline companion. A lot of Big Boss's past was retroactively changed, which is very apparent if you read his bio in the 1998 Metal Gear Solid Official Mission Handbook. Among these changed facts were things like him being born in Hawaii, him fighting Nazis in France, him being prejudiced towards his own Japanese heritage, all of which are no longer canon. Big Boss uses his limited knowledge of technology to assume that glowing mushrooms would recharge his night vision goggles. Whether it's a placebo effect or some sort of hallucination, he is able to make it work.
Paramedic,
What's up?
you were right.
About what?
I ate a Russian glow cap and it charged up my batteries.
Huh?
One of the promotional renders for Portable Ops features Big Boss wearing a beret. Even though he never wears it in the game, it was done to show that he was an admirer of Che Guevara. When he's waking up in the hospital, as his vision unblurs, you'll notice that the nurse is next to a flower. This is the Star of Bethlehem lily, the same flower that surrounded the field where he killed the boss. Big Boss was originally modeled after Sean Connery, to the point that the faces needed to be changed due to being too similar to real people. One of his first voice lines in The Phantom Pain is,
You can call me Ishmael.
This is a direct reference to Moby Dick, as it's the first line of the book. Throughout the game's story are several references and inspirations also from Moby Dick. If you boot up The Phantom Pain on whatever birthday you entered for Snake, you will get a special birthday cutscene. When you are rescuing Miller, if you take your time, he will talk for a while. Eventually, he will prompt you to say the magic words. If you press Y after this, Big Boss will say Snake's famous line.
Kept you waiting, huh?
While fighting the fear, you can end up full of crossbow arrows. If you treat them but do not remove them, they will stay in Big Boss's body for the rest of the game. At the end of the third game, he is forced to kill his mentor, the boss. This goes on to be his biggest regret in life. When he salutes her grave, if you press R1, you can see tears blurring his vision. Even though Kiefer Sutherland is the highest profile actor in The Phantom Pain, he has the least amount of voice lines of any character aside from Quiet. The Phantom Pain is in reference to a real phenomenon where people who have lost limbs experience pain in the limbs they no longer have, often having to look in a mirror to have their brain recognize that it's missing and stop the pain. It was decided very early in production that Venom Snake would lose his arm. The prosthetic was also designed for gameplay and has several abilities including stunning, missiles, and it can be customized. On top of having lost his arm, he was supposed to have also lost fingers on his other hand, but this was changed to allow him to have full mobility for using weapons. Big Boss has a very unique story arc throughout the series, starting off as a clear hero, but slowly over decades morphing into more of a villain, making him hard to classify as a character type in the grand scheme of things. Big Boss was one of the founding members of the Patriots, or the Lalelulelo. This was him creating a spiritual successor to the Philosophers, which was the boss's dream. Big Boss wasn't the dead body in the sack that we see in Metal Gear Solid 4, revealed to be Solidus, but Big Boss was almost in the same condition, having been burned to death by Solid Snake in Metal Gear 2. The reason he's back to his former self is because Eva used parts from Liquid and Solidus's bodies to literally rebuild him. In the opening sequence of Metal Gear Solid 5, we see Big Boss waking up from not only his coma, but also experiencing his new body, not to mention the fact that it was now 9 years in the future.
I'm afraid it's been 9 years. Damn it! Nosokoma! Nosokoma!
The medal awarded to Big Boss at the end of Snake Eater is the Distinguished Service Cross and is the second highest honor a soldier can receive. In Metal Gear Solid 4, after what we thought was the end of the game, a big plot twist was revealed and we see that Big Boss is still alive. He uses this time to kill Zero, atone for what he has done, salute the boss one last time, and say goodbye to Snake before succumbing to the new strain of the Foxdie virus. Big Boss's final words were,
This is good, isn't it?
And there you have it. Now, I know I missed things with Metal Gear and Kojima. I could make a million facts, but I thought these were just the best ones to talk about. But if there's something you think I really should have mentioned, leave it down in the comments so we can all share the nerdy info about these characters that we love so much. If you enjoyed this video, you'd really help out my channel by smashing that like button like Big Boss smashed Eva. If there's another character that you'd like to see a facts video on like this, let me know, and be sure to check out my 50 Facts playlist to see all the characters, locations, and games that I've previously covered. Until next time, I'm Kai Morgan, and as always, thanks for watching Ink Ribbon. And a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Your extra support means the world to me and helps me keep making content for you guys.